Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
And I'm Tyler.
Oops, I'm Peter.
And I'm Tyler.
And I'm Joseph again. And
I was chewing chips. I didn't want to get the smacking on the mic. My bad.
and this week, the Wheel of Destiny landed on my pick, Howard the Duck.
Production.
Well, I'm glad that he said the director's name because I was not sure on the pronunciation of his last name. Willard Huyck. Huyck.
Willard what?
Willard Huyck. Yuck. Willard Huyck. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah. Yuck.
So this is Howard the Duck, a Marvel movie, if you can believe it.
You did this to us.
Yes, I did.
You bastard.
And this is starring Leah Thompson, Jeffrey Jones, Tim Robbins, Chip Zine as the voice of Howard, and Ed Gale plus 7 other people playing the body of Howard. Mostly Ed Gale, I believe. And the plot of Howard the Duck is Howard the Duck lives on a planet where the evolved and dominant species is ducks. He gets zapped across the galaxy to Ohio, where he finds himself lost and confused and trying to find a way to get back home when he meets Beverly, a singer in an 80s hair band who takes him in more ways than one, and also tries to help him get back home when they meet the scientist responsible for bringing Howard here in the first place, then tries to send Howard on his way home, but instead invites a more sinister and evil alien, and now Howard T. Duck must save the world.
Howard T. Duck, like Howard the Duck.
Howard T. Duck.
Oh my god.
Like Chuck E. Cheese, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Charles
Entertainment Cheese.
Yeah. Entertainment is my middle name.
Yes, it is. And so why I put this on the wheel, I feel like it'd be good fodder, a good time to talk about this movie, I feel like.
Of all times, now. Now's the time.
Now's the time.
I guess so.
When's a better time?
Yeah. Serenity down.
It's the perfect January type of movie.
So I assume this is all of our first
Full of
time
misery.
time watches for this movie.
It is.
Yes, correct.
All right. So let's go around then, get some initial thoughts on Howard the Duck.
Okay.
Pete.
Well, I didn't know what to expect with the movie. The only thing that I've known about Howard the Duck is that, number one, it's a notoriously bad movie. And number two,
That is correct.
Yeah. Number two, it was produced by George Lucas, and that was like they put all their eggs in one basket.
All their ducks in a row.
Pun intended for that. I knew that, and then I knew that at some point Leah Thompson may or may not either know Howard in the biblical sense,
Yeah, biblical sense.
or come very close to finding out why it's shaped like a corkscrew.
Yeah,
That's never brought up in the movie.
No,
at
it's
all.
not. So that's pretty much all I knew about it. And then it was like a large scale bad movie. And that's pretty much exactly what I got, but way more bonkers than I'd even expected, because the premise itself is, okay, yeah, it's Howard the Duck. It's a comic book character. And, you have a lot of comic book characters that are anthropomorphized animals, and it's not that weird to think about, like Rocket the Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense, and there's a giant talking tree in that movie too, but in this one, he's the only part of it that is not human and not part of this earth.
Right.
So it's more of an E.T. sort of story, but he's a bad boy, and he wants a beer. He doesn't want a milk or whatever.
Want
You
some
know?
water, some milk.
Yeah, he's like, how about a beer, bitch? I don't think he says bitch, but
No.
it's
He says
that's cut.
toots.
Yeah, he also seems like he's a 1950s private detective or something like that.
Yeah,
That's his vibe.
That's the period they're in on his planet right now. They're in the noir. They're in the noir phase.
Yeah, the beginning does have a really fantastic sort of noir.
Listen
setup.
here, you twist.
Yeah, and it's a little. So I appreciated a lot of that about it. The things that I didn't appreciate about it were things like duck nipples. Why do we have to see so many nipples on the bare nipples on the female ducks on the duck planet?
Well, it's only one pair.
No, there's two. There's the centerfold, and then there's the one in the
the centerfold.
There's the one in the tub.
Yeah.
And they're so perky.
Pronounced.
They're very pronounced. So, anyways, stuff like that. I'm like, what the fuck? But the way that the movie actually played out with, what is the actor's name who plays the scientist? Jones.
Jeffrey Jones,
Yeah.
yes.
Convicted child molester Jeffrey Jones in real life.
Oh, really?
Not alleged.
I thought it was child pornography.
Okay, child pornography, virtual molesting.
No, it's not that bad.
Yeah. All right, that was Joseph that said that. That's for when the court transcripts come out.
It says here you think that's not that bad.
So Jeffrey Jones, when his character arc,
That's correct.
when his arc comes in and he starts turning into a grotesque mutation of a creature and he becomes like this Psycho Gorman
Palpatine.
Yes, Palpatine style, like otherworldly god creature.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking rules. I was so bought in at that point. But then it would immediately be juxtaposed to the most unnecessary, creepy scene that I've seen in cinema in quite some time.
Yeah.
And I watched this with Brianna. She hated it before the duck costume because she doesn't like people in animal costumes.
Yeah.
And at some point, we're watching Leah Thompson and Howard the Duck about to fuck. They're gonna get it. They're gonna. They're gonna make the beast with two backs and a lot of feathers.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, I'm gonna get arrested for watching this movie. This is illegal.
It's illegal.
This is illegal. But ultimately, very uneven film. But in retrospect, since I didn't see it back then, I'm only seeing it now. I think it's brilliant in its stupidity. So I really don't know how I'm going to grade this movie. I'm going to
Howard the Duck, brilliant.
Yeah,
by Pete.
in its stupidity. So throughout this next hour or so, I'm going to kind of mull it around and see how I come down on it. But there were scenes that I fucking hated, and there were scenes that whole large portions of the movie that I'm like, this is fantastic. So that's how I come down.
Okay. Tyler, what did you think of Howard the Duck?
I hated it. I hated it very much. I hated the costume design. I did not like the acting. And I thought the antagonist was dumb. And he was always, I need more power.
I am no longer who I am.
It's pretty good.
The saving grace for this movie after I watched it was the way that, who's the guy's name again?
Jeffrey Jones?
Jeffrey Jones. When his character...
Jennings. Dr. Jennings.
Dr. Jennings, that's right. That's right. And when he is in the car driving like a maniac because he's dying.
He's hungry.
Then he goes to the diner. They almost crash into the diner.
Oh, yeah.
And he just looks up at Beverly and says, I'm dead. Just, like, immediately.
That was your only scene that you liked?
I thought that was hilarious. I thought the intro is pretty cool, but I'm a sucker for that noir jazz style of music. So I went into this movie knowing that it had recognition of not being a great movie.
It had infamy.
But I wanted to be objective while watching it. And then it just went off the wall.
Off the rails.
Just off the rails. It was just really bad.
So did it live up to the hype for you of how bad it was?
Well, so I was hoping as the movie was going along, because the duck design is just absolutely ridiculous and horrifying. I was hoping it was going to be like a so bad it's good movie, but it is not. And the time run for me, I suspecting I wasn't going to like it. It's an hour and 51 minutes.
Kind of long, yeah.
Yeah.
And so really just like after watching it, I like turned off my computer, I sighed, and I just shook my head. And I asked myself, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life?
Am I going to quit the podcast? Is this the one?
This sets me overboard.
Was this the one?
This crosses the line.
But there's definitely, looking back at it, like talking about it and razzing on it, that's like what's gonna make it.
You think that's the benefit of it, is that it's so it was so shitty and insane. It's
Yeah.
going to be fun to talk about.
Watching it initially, that's the hard part.
Okay.
But then
Watching it's the hard part.
watching it is the hard
There's
part.
another good tagline for the movie.
But making fun of it is the best part. So
Okay.
yeah, it sucked. And God damn it, Joseph.
Yeah, it sucked, and goddamn me. Okay. Well, my first time watching this too, and the worst part of Howard the Duck is Howard the Duck.
100%.
Howard the Duck,
Main character.
100%.
Howard the Duck is the worst part of Howard the Duck. Right off the bat, the duck going back to the duck tits, duck nipples.
Yeah.
They got away with way too much in this movie for being a PG movie. I know it was 86.
This is PG.
I know it was 86.
Oh my god.
But just because they're ducks doesn't mean you can get away with this shit like
You
that.
can't keep getting away with it.
Oh, it's ducks. They're okay. It's not like real nudity.
That's nudity.
I know.
I don't know. People were probably walking in on their parents.
What are you
Duck
watching,
stuff.
son?
Nothing.
But yeah, it was pretty tough to get through. I'm not gonna lie. I found myself cringing a lot throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But cringing, but also laughing, like cringe laughing. Like I can't believe they're showing this, but it's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that scene between Leia and Howie in the bed, venturing into the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
I'll play that clip a little bit later. But but yeah,
Can't
that was it sent shivers down my spine.
Came out of left field too.
I was expecting it, to be honest, and that's only because of an image from this movie of Leia Thompson and him in the bed when those guys walk in, and they're like they caught him.
It's become a meme. It's like
Yeah.
Marty McFly's
Oh
mom.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
And they're watching it. I was like, there isn't really a whole lot redeeming this movie, because even when we get to what turns into the big problem of the movie, which is the other aliens coming in and possessing Jennings' body.
Those were pretty terrible.
Yeah, they're like warthog scorpion things.
Yeah.
His voice that he put on was so grating. It was annoying to hear. But really, what really took me out of the movie was Howard. I couldn't stand his personality. It was the worst. Everything had to be clever, sarcastic. He had to have some sort of quip to say with every line. But at the same time, and I know this is part of his character, is that he is like a lot of talk but no walk.
Yeah.
He like talks a lot of shit at the bar, but then he immediately gets just tossed around in the bar.
Yeah. But he does know quack foo.
Yeah, I was gonna say he knows.
He does know quack foo, and he only demonstrates it once.
Yeah. It's coming. I think twice too, actually.
I remember the once.
Once at the bar and then
Once when he first gets there and they're bullying Leah Thompson. They're about to
Yes.
yeah, and then at the bar.
at the bar. Well, not really.
He beats up those guys at the bar.
Not really.
If that's not quack foo, tell me what is.
He
Which came first, quack foo or Shaq foo is the question.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I want
they're-
to see Quack Fu versus Shaq Fu in a movie.
Shaq would fucking kill Howard.
No one laughs in the face of Quack Fu.
God.
Which there's a lot of good pulls from this movie in terms of drops, and I got something like
Is that when he's getting a rimmer from Beverly?
Yeah. I was ashamed. I was kind of sad that it didn't go all the way. She was joking too.
Why were you sad about that? That's bestiality, my friend.
It is a bestiality.
No,
but-
it's not. He's a sentient creature.
But why didn't they commit to it?
Yeah.
Probably couldn't figure it out.
Because it's PG. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably the corkscrew.
Yeah. And I had a good time watching the movie, but for the most part, it was pretty bad, and I don't really imagine myself watching it again.
Oh no.
This is going to be a yearly watch for me.
Oh god.
It's
no.
rough. It's really cringy, I gotta say. And it was a big flop. It was a big flop when this movie came out. So yeah, it's the character Howard the Duck was the worst part of the movie. Tim Robbins was the second worst part, and Leah Thompson was probably the best part.
Yeah. She's a smoke show in this.
Yeah.
She's a hot ticket to Hawaii.
Tim Robbins was like, he wasn't like terrible, not nearly as terrible as Howard, but he was pretty annoying.
I felt like he knew that he was in an insane movie and
Yeah.
decided to make his character
Up the ante.
at 11 on the 1 to 10 scale all the time.
Yeah. And the craziest part is that he gets zapped a million miles away in this super lab that has this laser. Is in Ohio.
It's like How does Cleveland have a astrophysicist lab?
They have the funding for that. Also, when she's going through his wallet, finds the loose condom.
Yes.
Oh, Howie.
Yeah. What? Who has a loose condom? It doesn't even have a wrapper.
He reuses it.
Oh, you rinse it out.
Yeah.
Just like you do with dental floss.
Yeah, exactly. We share floss in this house. This is my rubber passed down from generations. There were some kind of quippy, clever lines that kind of, okay, that was a stupid line. When he goes, it's a duck hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes like way in the back of my head.
Okay, that's all right. You got to get it in there.
Every single opportunity for a duck pun.
I know.
Yes.
Which leads me to believe that this is the precursor to B movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
If this movie didn't exist,
Yeah.
B movie wouldn't exist.
Howard the
either?
Duck walked, so B movie could run.
So
It was
the middle.
it was Dinosaurs, the TV show,
Yeah.
mixed with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
Okay.
mixed with B movie. That's
And this came before all of those.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
this
So
was the precursor.
This
to
is
all
the
of those.
reason why we have an MCU.
But yeah.
Actually, this is the reason why the MCU was delayed 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we shouldn't put all our money onto this. Didn't do so well.
Yeah, those one-liners though, they were. I wrote it here in my notes. The one-liners get really tiring.
Yeah,
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God, shut up.
When he gets sent back to Earth, I think it's funny. Oh, are you done with your initial thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
Like it, bad, hated it.
I won't be watching it again.
Okay, all right, that's fair. When he gets zooped to Earth, some of the people think he's a child,
Yeah.
or like a dwarf or something.
Yeah, in a costume.
Yeah, and then the garbage truck, instead of him going, "Oh, there's a duck creature right there," that's probably just a little person. I'm gonna run him over. The garbage truck sees that there's something in the road, a human, probably a human of some sort, either a child or a little person.
It's a bloodlust.
And instead of stopping and getting out and say, "Can you please move?" it speeds up.
Yeah.
I can't stop this dump truck.
I know. I got a quota to fill. Boss has been on my ass.
I was disappointed that the Satan Sluts didn't make a comeback.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw,
dude, I
great,
wanted-
great biker gang name.
Dude, I want to have a patch that's called Satan Slut.
PG movie, by the way.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, what the fuck? Well, they were still experimenting with the
ratings.
PG-13 right around that same era.
Yeah.
But still, I think the amount of sexual tension and the amount of almost nudity and like raw sexuality that's exuding from Leah Thompson's Beverly,
Yeah.
that instantly qualifies it to be PG-13.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I didn't realize it was.
She's about to take
PG,
her top off.
Yeah, if I was pre-PG-13, if I was 12 or under,
Oh, you were 12. Okay.
if I was 12 or under watching this in the theaters, I probably, it would have changed me.
Yeah, it most certainly would for myself as well.
Yeah.
Damn.
I never quite saw a little bit of the appeal of Leah Thompson in like Back to the Future. She's very appealing,
Marty sure did.
but yeah, he banged his mom. He did it.
Me and my
did
friends
it.
would have feverishly arguments about
Feverish sessions about that.
about whether or not he banged her as his mom or not.
Well, all I'm saying is that I could see some of the appeal from that. After Howard the Duck, I 100% understand the Leah Thompson draw. Yeah, and I agree with Joseph. I think she should have gone all the way.
Yeah.
We're back on.
You have this iconic scene.
Why are they in bed together? That's why it felt like it came out of left field.
Maybe it's not a man you should be looking for.
You think I might find happiness in the animal kingdom, Ducky?
Like they say, Dal. Love's strange.
Oh
We could always give it a try.
Ooh,
That's a dumbest line ever.
you can always give it a try.
Love's strange.
This is so bad.
Okay.
This is so bad.
Let's go for it, Mr. Macho.
Huh?
What do you mean? Okay. It was a joke.
What?
Oh my god.
Listen.
I thought she was going to go down on him.
She fillets the
So
duck.
incredibly soft and cuddly.
Bev, let's be realistic. I mean, my apartment's zillions of miles from here. You're 3 feet taller than I am.
Can't resist your intense animal
I just don't get
magnetism.
it.
This scene had me cracking up.
I know. His feathers stand up on his head.
Anyway,
Whoops.
where will it all lead? Marriage, kids, a house in the suburbs?
Let's just face it. It's fate.
No, it's not.
He groped her.
I've got a headache.
And I got the aspen.
It's right here in my pants.
Be gentle.
Just one good night kiss, sweet Ducky. Come on, Howard.
Why does he
I'm
call her
just kidding.
Ducky?
Why not?
Night.
You wouldn't call him Ducky?
I thought this was good. I thought that was.
That was where the
Yeah.
fellatio comes in.
What are they doing?
Oh, he just puts his hands behind his head.
This is Austin Powers.
Yeah, that scene. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was
Rough.
That was quite. That was quite something.
It's funny because the trio of men that come in, it's Jeffrey Jones, Tim Robbins, and whoever this is.
The third guy.
Yeah, third guy. They come in and you're like, oh, they think that they were about to fuck. So it looks bad, when in reality, they were really actually about to fuck the whole time. It looks bad the whole time.
I definitely
The
had
shadow gag really only works if it's innocent on the first part, and then the second part, they assume
they
it's
just
bad.
walked in.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine like Tim Robbins' character like, what the hell's going on?
What is she doing?
What the hee-haw? Yeah,
That was the cringiest scene, I think, 100%.
I'm a toss-up between that being the cringiest scene and literally the nonstop barrage of duck puns. Whether they work or not. You don't have to say, no more Mr. Nice Duck.
I think I know it's a movie called Howard the Duck.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck.
But every scene that
It's not even a pun.
every scene that he's in without a character, it just is so annoying. It's so annoying.
Well, so if you're assuming that it means like no more Mr. Nice Guy, are ducks not called guys in their world?
Yeah.
It's not human. It's not no more Mr. Nice Human.
They know they're ducks.
Yeah, they know they're ducks.
but-
It's him and her, he and her, him, her,
Yeah.
What I will say about
guy, gal.
what I will say about Tim Robbins' character is I liked his reaction to first seeing Howard because he runs out of the office or the lab, and then he goes into his boss's office because he's a lab tech assistant.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and they're just like, yes, never mind, and then just like starts processing it, and then I don't know why Howard was so hurt. He was like, nothing hurts but my pride after the conversation with the scientist.
Yeah, because he's talking about him like a thing, not a human, not a person.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you have to understand from a human's point of view, like if you saw like an alien, like you're gonna.
He's not in his mind. He's not an alien though. He's
You're
just
gonna
he's just a
condescend to
person.
him.
Yeah, you gotta talk down to him.
Even though he knows that he's not on his own planet.
But he's not saying his reaction to the humans is not like, "What the fuck are you?" He just knows that they're another creature.
Well, I thought
It's the intelligence that matters.
I thought him explaining about like the evolution of like sentient ducks on his planet was pretty funny.
Yeah,
too.
that wasn't bad. I thought that was a pretty decent explanation.
Oh, yeah, the evolution, like, you guys don't have, from monkeys to man.
Yeah.
You guys went from mallard to blooming ducks.
Yeah.
Blooming ducks. Yeah.
Yeah. This scene is that scene we were just talking about of Tim Robbins, psychotic doctor or psychotic scientist talking down to him. And he does this impersonation of like a Donald Duck or Daffy Duck.
Be friends.
Undoubtedly, one of Earth's greatest minds here.
Hey, Phil, don't talk. I'm as smart as you are.
Oh, now I'm really depressed.
Perhaps even. That's it.
Turn the volume up a little bit.
Let's see if subject has any abilities we don't have here on Earth. Any,
What?
shall we say, superpowers.
He knows he's like super. He's in a comic book movie.
Can you
Yeah.
bend this?
And he doesn't really have any powers.
Crazy?
No.
He doesn't even fly.
No.
Can you burn a hole through this with some kind of eye laser?
Can I bite your nose off with my super bill?
Howard, quit holding out. I want you to
Howard.
concentrate and read my mind.
Right. You're thinking, they know I'm a phony. They know I'm a yo. Tell me if I'm warm on any of these, Phil.
I want you to look into the future and tell me what.
I see myself walking out that door.
Yeah, me too.
Good one.
Yeah, got him. Hashtag got him.
Nice.
I like that that was kind of an homage to the comic book superheroes that you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Bend this strength. Use your strength to bend this rod or
Yeah.
burn a hole through it or whatever.
His only power is quack foo, but he doesn't even use it that much.
No. He could have
And-
probably.
And his cunning tongue in terms of cracks.
He's a
and-
cunning.
Yeah.
He's a cunning linguist. That
Yeah.
He's really not that cunning.
No, he's not.
This feels like a standard crappy late 80s, early 90s movie, but with 10 times the budget. And they just took one of the human characters out and replaced it with an animatronic duck.
Yeah.
And somehow the studio saw it and still decided to put it in theaters. They saw the finished product of this movie
Well,
and said,
yeah.
this is going in theaters.
Well, George Lucas was at his height back then, so
Yes, the Skywalker Ranch.
Go ahead.
Because Skywalker, he like had just got or bought Skywalker Ranch, and he was like forming it together. And then this movie came out, and it was a huge flop, and so he essentially couldn't afford Skywalker Ranch anymore. And then somebody came in and bought, I can't remember, but they bought something from him so he could.
I don't remember, some memorabilia or something like that.
Yeah, because this movie was not the success that it was proposed to be.
Yeah, so it makes sense that he would he would be able to secure that budget.
I'm fine with that. Before seeing the final product.
Oh yeah, so he had just built the $50 million Skywalker Ranch and was counting on this film to get him back in the black. That's finance terms. When it bombed, he was forced to start selling off his assets to stay afloat. His best friend, Steve Jobs, CEO of Apple, offered to help buying Lucasfilm's newly launched CGI animation division for a price well above market value. So he got a handout and a handee from Steve Jobs.
Wait, it says that in there?
No.
A hand job from Steve Jobs.
And that division eventually became Pixar.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like I knew that.
So George Lucas was like the very early inception of Pixar, sold it to Steve Jobs, and then it became Pixar.
Nice.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, when I first saw, when you think about George Lucas's involvement in this, that he produced it, it seems confusing. Like it seems so far out of the wheelhouse of something Lucas would do, in my opinion. But then once you realize just how bad the writing is in this, and you think about the prequels,
start connecting
and
the dots.
it really starts making the crappy puns. It really feels like a space soap opera, which is Star Wars, and this is like a space noir. With puns, full of puns, to the brim with puns.
It's barely a noir too.
When Howard when Beverly pulls the money out of the loose rubber out of his wallet.
Yep.
The presidents have duck bills.
The dollar looks mostly the same.
Yeah.
But they just have a George Washington duck.
Yeah, George Washington. It's literally the duck verse.
So I wonder if it's just the exact same people, but they're just duck versions.
Yes, it's just like in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. They have Abraham Lincoln, the statue. They end the movie on Abraham Lincoln.
Nice.
So a couple notes that I have here. Tim Robbins is on tilt when he's testing Howard, which we just saw. He's a madman.
Yeah.
He shows him the evolutionary ladder for ducks. I really like that idea. And then he gets a job at a sex shop. He goes, well, if I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, he goes to it's like a brothel, bathhouse type thing.
If I'm going to be here, I might as well get a job. So he gets a job at this bathhouse brothel.
Yeah.
He quits and goes back to the bar to take over as Beverly's pimp, basically.
Yeah.
I know he says agent, but we all know it is.
Yeah.
And then he says that he has space rabies. Everybody needs to stay away because he has space rabies.
Is
that bad?
When he's at I was like the DMV. He's at the EDD, basically unemployment office.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's just sitting there, and he's got like glasses and a hat, I think, and a shirt on.
Yeah.
It's the woman who is helping him. She's like, I'm going to find you a job, even though I know you don't want one. She's like just assuming that he's just like this person who's really into body modification.
Yeah.
Because that's what that's what she's saying. She's saying just because like you look so different and
you're trying to look eclectic and different.
Yeah.
So you can't get a job.
But I'm going to find you a job. And that's when he gets the bathhouse brothel job.
What the hell was that substance that he pushes his boss in?
It's mud.
Mud bath.
Oh, mud. Okay. Because I was like watching it. I was like squinting. I was like, what?
Is that a toilet?
The lighting in that room makes it look like a sludge, but it's just like dark brown mud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
He's also a musician, by the way. He has a little tune that he never finished.
Oh yeah.
It reminded me of that one scene in Camp Rock where she's like playing the keyboard and it's like the worst thing you've ever heard.
Oh yeah, we watched that. I forgot about that.
You watched that.
It's the worst thing you've ever heard.
But we didn't.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did watch it.
It was your punishment movie.
That was a bad one. That one still stinks.
Oh yeah.
That one still stinks.
Tyler, when he has a punishment movie.
Yeah, but that sounds exciting.
So here's another thing that I thought was interesting. So the lab assistant, which is Tim Robbins, he's pretends to be a scientist. Turns out he's just a lab assistant. He mops up the frog cum from the experiments, and he contacts the local astrophysicist lab because there's a duck. You're a bigger scientist than I am. Has something happened recently? It's basically just like testing the waters, and they find out. He said, "Oh, there was an event happened."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's how they found out that Howard came to Earth. Jeffrey Jones's character he was at the telescope or whatever.
Yeah.
When the energy came back and blew his like face back or whatever.
he had like 30-degree burns
his whole
on
face.
his
And then he starts morphing and he loses his soul.
Essentially.
That turns into like Evil Dead meets Psycho Gorman.
Yeah.
And also gave me a little bit of the live action Sonic the Hedgehog vibes.
Get outed.
Yeah.
Except with an alien.
And then a little bit of a vibe of Who Framed Roger Rabbit with the psychoticness of Judge Doom.
Yeah, like the design of the each progression.
When they go to the lab the first time to try and send him home the first time, and that's when Jennings gets possessed.
Yeah.
After the failed experiment, the cops show up and they arrest Howard immediately because he's a duck.
Yeah.
Like, he's the suspect.
I didn't do anything wrong.
If that's
I
not
have
discrimination or racial profiling, I don't know what is.
That's right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then he gets away. He escapes. But is that when he doesn't do quack foo there? No, I don't think he does.
No.
But he escapes with Leah Thompson, and then they're hiding underneath a stairwell, and then they're eavesdropping on these cops on the manhunt. Yes. And the way that the cop is talking to his other officers is so funny because he's talking to them like they're really dumb. He says, he's 3'2", he's armed, which means he's got a gun, which means he's dangerous. Extremely dangerous.
I'll say that during
Shoot to kill.
Which also means you could get killed.
Yeah. Which means you won't be alive anymore.
You would cease to exist.
Your wife will be a widow.
Yes.
Children's orphans.
You get it?
Regarding the Howard arrest scene, I really found it super funny when Howard said, why am I getting arrested? I didn't do anything wrong. And one of the cops is like, yeah, he's got a point. And then the other cop is an illegal alien.
Yeah, call it an illegal alien.
Illegal alien, yeah.
And then also all the police.
He's asked what are the charges, and he's illegal alien.
And then all the police officers that are like frisking him, they're like, find the zipper, find the Velcro, get him out of that suit.
Yeah.
And they all freak out when he turns into... Sir, there's no zipper. There's no Velcro, sir. There's no mask.
That's Scooby-Doo.
The character that Jeffrey Jones, Dr. Jennings, is turning into is a Marvel villain called Thog the Netherspawn, Overmaster of Summonus.
Yeah.
That is his character's name in real life, in the comic book. Yeah. So thankfully they did not say that.
Yeah.
They just call him like an overlord of the universe or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Overlord.
Yeah, he morphs, he changes, he's turning into an overlord from another dimension. He's trying to bring back other overlords, and he is legitimately terrifying, in my opinion. He does
the human version of the overlord. Not the
No, those look like Doom 64 characters. It's a boss from Doom 64.
It reminded me of the creature in Coneheads when they go. And then they're like fighting for his life in that pit. Basically, that's what it reminded me of.
The Narth Lap or something like that.
Yeah, a little inconsistency here, a little continuity error.
Oh, wait a second, this isn't real.
Yeah. So Howard he says earlier in the movie where he says, "I don't eat human food," right? But then he goes to the diner and they take away the eggs that they ordered.
Yeah.
But then she goes, "She took my eggs." Which is it?
No, that was the Overlord said that.
Oh yeah.
But he did say
no, Jennings says, "I don't eat human food." But then that scene ends with him, "She took my eggs."
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
And I'm like, which is it? Overlord.
Maybe he's swapping back and forth between human form. But no, his human form died at that point.
It was a really strange choice to I thought it was I laughed at it, but I thought it was really strange to have a truck stop diner but convert it into a sushi restaurant.
Oh, that was.
But they serve eggs and rice and stuff.
It was like the best sushi in Texas or something like that.
Yeah, and then once the conflict starts and they realize Howard is an actual duck, they grab him and put him on a table and then start seasoning him.
I know.
Yeah, with his clothes on and feathers.
That's what I was just gonna bring up. It's you're gonna cook this duck with clothes on.
And also in that same scene, a lot happens in this one scene. That whole thing transpires, and this is when Jennings or the Overlord starts coming into his full power. This is when he starts glowing.
Yeah.
But the employees, they treat him just like he's like a disruptive customer.
Yeah.
They just go, "You out of here.
You gotta get out of here." He really was embodying a Psycho Gorman there, where we don't know what his powers are, but they're hefty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to eat something.
Electricity.
Yeah, and that he has Palpatine powers. And but at the same time, Howie and we're calling him Howie,
Beverly.
like we're best friends.
Yeah.
Howie and Bev, they're like with him, and then Beverly gets kidnapped by him. Although she is like, I feel like she could just get out of that truck.
Yeah.
Especially when
I saw those knots. Those knots didn't look
especially when she stops. They stop at a railroad or something, like a train track, and it's going to just get out of the car. Just get out now.
Yeah, just make a run for it.
Yeah, and they're like buddy with them a little bit with each other in the diner, because when he says she took my eggs,
I don't think he's turned against them yet.
Yeah.
It's more just like humanity.
Yeah,
He's an overlord. He's got a plan, but they're not stopping his plan at some point.
Yeah, their main goal is just to get Howard back to his home planet.
yeah.
A couple of trivia facts: the Howard the Duck costume cost $2 million.
What, like
$2 million
to make or
to create?
oh wow,
$2 million.
That's crazy. That's
The helmet, the head was really impressive because there's frown features, there's smile features, the mouth moves, the eyes moves. All has to be in sync with the actual people, like having a conversation, because there is a script. It's not just like ad lib, because obviously there's enough puns in there where it has to be fucking scripted. But yeah, that was insane. It was supposed to be a child in there, but eventually it was deemed like that wasn't possible. It was too heavy. There was too long, the long work hours. Getting them in and out was like a not healthy, conducive relationship for a child.
this ended two people's careers.
Who's that?
The director and the head of Universal Pictures. The director never made a movie after this, and he only made one movie before, which was also a failure. And then Frank Price, who was the head of Universal Pictures, he quit his job.
He was fired, and they bankrupted his brother's tractor dealership.
He was so ashamed.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson's look was designed after Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. It took her 2 hours to get her hair and makeup done every day.
I could see that.
Yeah, and she says that she should have just worn a wig, but I thought it was a
It looked good.
It looked great.
Yeah, I
But
mean for the time.
could you have gotten away with it with a wig? Probably.
I don't know, maybe. Her band wailed. I thought they did pretty good.
Cherry Bomb rules.
Cherry Bomb was good. I wish they would have leaned into the name a little bit more, because it felt like the beginning of Streets of Fire with Ellen Aim and the Attackers, which is Diane Lane's character.
So Tim Robbins is dating one of the band members because they go into their green room.
Oh, yeah.
There's no time for sex or something like that.
He also says, he goes, sorry I missed the show, but I showed up to watch you guys change.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't think he was dating anyone in that band. I think he just wanted.
That's just his self-deprecating humor. Where he's, isn't it funny? No, I will not have sex with you. You got chlorophyll guy over here.
I will say that the scene where they are like in that glider lawnmower thing, that looked pretty good. Like the camera was like attached to that, and that was obviously hanging off something like a crane off the back of a truck or something. But it looked good. Like they didn't do some sort of cheesy green screen, which would have made it look a lot worse.
Yeah, the quality was good. It was a really good looking movie, sort of The Duck, and the terrible CGI overlord monsters
and the claymation crab, scorpion, pig alien.
Those were bad. John Landis was originally attached to direct this movie.
Oh, really?
He was friends with Lucas, but he said that the final scene where police car after police car crashes is too similar to his last movie, which was Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be pigeonholed.
Yeah, I would say that much like our review of Cat in the Hat, this one is probably the more entertaining one and the better one, although it's a very low bar. After I watched Cat in the Hat, I was like...
Now I'm really depressed.
But yeah, I had fun watching this movie for the most part, I think.
Okay.
It was just hard to watch sometimes.
I wanted to bring up regarding that little airplane scene. So before they take off, Tim Robinson's character says something to the effect, "Oh, good thing I do this this is my weekend afternoon hobby," or something like that.
Okay.
And so he lets Howard fly the damn thing.
He's a duck.
He knows how. Well, he doesn't know how to fly.
No, he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to fly. He doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah, Tim Robbins is. You channel your your ancestors' instincts or
Ancestral instincts. Yeah. So, like, why didn't he fly it though? He's the expert. He wouldn't have been nearly drowned in that lake.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. But
What the hell, writers? Why would you do that?
I'm flying.
That's what he says when he gets up there.
Undoubtedly one of Earth's greatest minds here.
Yeah.
One of the other things I wanted to talk about is the noir intro.
Yeah.
It sets you up for just how shitty the puns are going to be for the whole movie.
Yeah. Breeders.
Which make no sense. Why breeders? Just because it sounds like raiders?
Has same amount of syllables.
Yeah, but humans breed too. That's not a pun.
I know.
I didn't get that either.
So they a movie poster that he's looking at, My Little Chickadee, with starring Mae Nest instead of Mae West,
Yeah.
and W.C. Fowle instead of W.C. Fields. Okay, great, awesome. Yeah. And as he's flipping through the channels, there's a black duck, and she's like embracing with a white duck, and it says, "Who cares what the world thinks? I love you."
Oh yeah.
And then then you see a black duck walking down the street listening to reggae.
Oh no.
As he's getting zooped out to Earth, and you're like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
At that point I said Howard the Duck, more like Howard the Suck.
Don't worry about me. I'm not racist.
No one ever claimed George Lucas of not being racist.
Yeah, that's true.
There was one thing I also wanted to bring up. When we get to Jennings' mutations and he does like the tongue thing.
Oh yeah.
That whole part, I felt like they like used like effects that would be in like an 80s horror movie.
Yeah.
Like a Frankenhooker or like a Stewart Gordon type horror
From
movie.
Beyond or
From
something.
Beyond or something.
Yeah.
It's pouring out there.
Is that the rain coming down?
That's raining. Hold on, listeners. We're talking about rain.
Yeah, it's raining hard.
But yeah, I was like, oh, that practical effect of that tongue thing that he uses to eat, consume.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it comes out.
Yeah, and it extends.
I'm telling you, I like him as a villain. He's a good villain.
Yeah.
He's a fucking creep.
Yeah. Well, in real life too.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The funny thing about this, and we were getting ready, I prepped Brianna about it. I said, this is a bad movie.
Oh, to watch it?
We're getting ready to watch this terrible movie about Howard the Duck, blah, blah, blah. And then we went to Apple TV to rent it, and it asked me 3 times if I was sure. He was like, are you sure?
You sure you want to watch this?
This is Howard the Duck.
This is Howard the
Are you sure you got it right?
I said yes, and it said, there's no refunds after this.
This is not Looney Tunes.
I said, okay, yes, please. So they were trying to warn me, and I didn't listen.
Yeah, well, you had a mission.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mission from God.
We had a job to do.
That's right. Anything else
No, I think it's great. It's great.
about Howard the Duck?
Yeah, let's grade this mother.
Yeah.
Good? Okay.
Yeah.
Pete, what do you grade Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck. This is a really tough one to grade. There's a number of scenes that are some of the worst writing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
On the level of music from Sia.
Yeah.
Why does B movie work for the pun, the sheer pun volume, the pun density of puns in that movie versus this? Why? Maybe because Jerry Seinfeld is a comedic genius. Maybe because the timing is good. His personality is not draining.
Yeah.
And then you have a fucking random ass guy with no comedy experience potentially. I don't know who this
Chip
guy
Zien
is. Yeah, I don't know who he is. But delivering these lines like, I don't know, like unlikable dork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard's supposed to be cool, but he's not cool. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So all that aside, I really loved Jeffrey Jones as a villain. I thought his villain was terrifying. I thought he was unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen with him, and that's part of the terrifying aspect of it.
Yeah.
The whole subplot about them trying to shag and whether or not it's going to happen, will they, won't they? Yeah. And my God, Leah Thompson was something else, a true vision.
The legs.
Yes, the legs. It really was something else. So I don't know where to come out down on this. I'm giving it an A-.
Wow.
A-.
A-.
Okay. Let's
No, I'm a phony. They know I'm a real.
I feel like I'm gonna watch this again, and I'm gonna like it even more on a repeat viewing.
This is the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Unironically, A-.
Yes,
You're a
Yes.
Howard the Duck apologist.
I am. I think at this point in my life, I think I am. Yeah,
Oh, no.
I have to say I am, and it's unfortunate because I'm ashamed. I'm scared for my life once this goes out on the internet.
But the time this movie was over, Pete was like,
I'm very happy about that.
So A- for me.
Tyler, Howard the Duck, what did you think? What'd you grade it, huh?
It's a D. I'm not going to put an F on it because there was some funny parts and I am glad that we could discuss it, but it's a D.
Oh, now I'm really depressed.
Yeah. D for duck.
D for duck.
It's a D.
I don't know. It's too long. It's just way too long. If they had trimmed it down a little bit more, I think it
D plus.
I want the director's cut. I want the 2.5 hour version.
I think
Give
if
me
they
the Snyder cut of.
I think if they trimmed it down a little bit more, I probably would have graded it a little bit higher and enjoyed myself a little bit more. It just felt like it slogged. It felt like work. And so a D.
I have to agree with you, Tyler, on that topic, though. I think that it did feel like work while watching it.
I was working.
My emotions were fighting each other. Like, do I like this movie or is this a piece of shit?
Well, that's the paths we decided to choose when we started this show.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Looking back on it, I think it is probably more funny, entertaining, and cringy on the more, I don't know, positive cringe. I don't know if that's like I don't know how to really describe it.
Yeah, it's
a good cringe. Like I'm laughing and cringing. I'm not just cringing.
well, sad cringe is a thing. So if sad cringe is a thing, there has to
Happy
be
cringe.
There has to be
Yeah.
other types of cringe.
Wholesome cringe.
Give me some levels
Wholesome
of
cringe.
What levels of cringe are there?
Is wholesome cringe when those two couples, the couple that marries each other and they kiss each other for the first time on that show, and they like make out with their heads? You seen that? You seen that clip?
No, I haven't. I don't.
They're like getting married and they've never kissed before, and then their first kiss at the altar is terrifying.
Oh, okay.
They should have
Like they're
practiced
inhaling
first.
each other.
Yeah, we'll put that on Facebook.
So yeah, I think I'll probably come down on this movie as I'll do a solid B
Jeez.
for Bill, Duck Bill.
Nice. Very good.
Bite you with my super bill. But yeah, it was funny, entertaining. Like I'll grade it on that level. And the quality of movie, I don't know. It was a big flop, and it's notoriously a bad movie. But it's probably really not as bad as people make it out to be.
Yeah, I think that's probably. If I saw this in theaters, I'd probably be pissed off about it. As a kid, as an adult with some perspective and just the legacy that's led up to it, I thought it was something else. Really was. It's an oddity.
You got to look at it through a certain lens.
Yeah.
And this story is interesting when it takes the turn on the alien possession thing. It gets interesting, actually.
I used without the whole overlords coming in. It would have been nice if he was the main bad guy that they had to fight against.
If he was just a bad guy.
Yeah, he was just a bad guy, and then I will take over the earth now that I am the overlord.
Yeah. But yeah, so kind of a good spread. A, D, and B.
Yeah.
A, D, and B. All right. That's off the wheel. Howard the Duck is off the wheel. And so let's move on to that wheel.
1 wheel, 8 slots, 3 hosts. This is the Wheel of Destiny.
All right, Howard the Duck is off the wheel. That was Joseph's pick. So, Joseph, you have a new movie you're going to replace. What is it?
I'm going to replace Howard the Duck with a vastly different movie, I believe. I don't know. I've never seen it. David Lynch's Eraserhead.
Ah, the one that started it all.
What?
David Lynch.
Oh.
Like what started David Lynch?
Oh, okay. Started what?
All of us going, motherfucker.
Started movies.
Yeah.
Eraserhead.
I haven't seen Eraserhead in quite some time.
Movies are back.
That's right.
Okay, cool. So Eraserhead is on the wheel. Let's recap what we have on the wheel. We have Eraserhead from Joseph, Children of Men from Joseph, Inside Llewyn Davis from Listener Dallas, Blackberry from Javier, Hard Ticket to Hawaii from Pete, Rocket Man from Pete, Mr. and Mrs. Smith from Tyler, and American History X from Tyler. So we're going to give this a spin. And this is what we're going to watch next week. Back to back for Joseph. It's Children of Men. That's right.
Children of Men.
Yes.
Sweet.
And this is
directed by Alfonso Cuarón, director of Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, and Gravity, and Y Tu Mama Tambien, and Roma. And
you said at one point you called this your favorite movie of all time. You still stand by that?
So this would, I guess we'll find out next week because I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, for a long time, since I've seen it, it's been my number one movie. And that would be like my go-to. When someone asks me my favorite movie, that would be my answer.
Yeah.
When it is hard to answer a favorite movie because it is a floating ranking.
Yeah, sure.
But this is like the one movie that I would say because I feel like it is not talked about enough.
Tyler, you have famously like 25 favorite movies. So when someone back pocket, someone pulls that question on you, what's your favorite movie? Go.
The Lighthouse.
I figured it's probably going to be that. I waffle back and forth between There Will Be Blood and Whiplash. So
Yeah.
okay, cool. So is that streaming anywhere?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Let's see here.
I think it has. I've never seen it streaming anywhere, honestly.
I think
It's bullshit.
I know.
All right, Children of Men. It is streaming on Fubo, Stars, DirecTV, and USA.
Okay, so nowhere.
So yeah, nowhere that we have at least.
Wait a minute. USA now has a streaming service?
USA Network. I guess it's just what's on the channel.
This is getting out of hand.
It's reruns of Monk
Yeah.
and Psych.
And now there's a Monk movie.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now they're
Is that
It's still Tony Shalhoub
Really?
as Monk.
really?
Yep.
It's
I
like
had no
I
idea.
think it's
like-
on Peacock.
Oh, interesting. All right.
it's his last case.
Anybody watch Monk? I never knew anybody who
No.
watched Monk.
I think I caught an episode here or there. Just never got the claws stuck into me.
Ted Levine is his boss. I know that. Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He goes, was a dead person a great big fat person? All right. So anyway, so we're gonna have to rent that. Let's see, Tyler, you're gonna have to take a day off to watch this movie.
I will?
Yeah.
I
What?
took a day off to watch this movie.
You have to take a day off. No, but you had to pay $4 for that movie.
Okay. Well,
Have you seen this before, Tyler?
I've seen clips of it, but I have not seen the whole
yes,
movie.
A simple yes or no would suffice.
No,
I'm just kidding. So no, you haven't seen it.
I have not.
Okay, get ready. In the war scene near the end, there is a number of very long shots, and probably the clips that you've seen already.
Yes.
But pay attention, and listeners who are going to follow along at home, if you're going to watch this, pay attention. And it's not only just that scene. I think there's 4 or 5 good, really long shots in this movie.
yeah.
But the one in the war scene really is a notable one, which goes for fucking ever, it seems.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Cool.
Cool. All right.
Anything else, fellas?
I think that's it.
Okay, so thank you to our cool-ass yard duties over on Patreon. As Javier, Heather Sachs, Ryan Corbin, and Chris. And if you want to support us through the Patreon, head up patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. Tiers go from $2 all the way up to the top tier. We have one left. There's the cool-ass yard duty. And we greatly appreciate all of our Patreon members. You're able to allow us to expand the show, upgrade our cameras, do all kinds of fun things. We have the Twitch stream going live. We have the YouTube going every week. So if you're joining us on one of those, thank you so much. But if you are one of the OG podcast listeners, thank you as well for sticking with us. Until next time. Thank you for following us as we review Howard T. Duck. Follow us next week as we watch Children of Men, another one of Joseph's back-to-back picks. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and please follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail, why don't you, at 209-730-6010.
And follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
If you have not subscribed to us on the YouTube page, please go check us out. It's the full word, Middle Class Film Class. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
See ya.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here. The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week. See you later. See you later. That's a wrap.
Great show.